10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're live. That counter just froze, but whatever the case. Hey everyone, it's Alexander, the real Mr. Robinson. Welcome, whether you're on YouTube or Twitch. This is the second MCU watch-along because I'm doing this in chronological order. We are going to the least controversial movie in the entire franchise, Captain Marvel. And that was entirely sarcasm. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to open up that jar of worms because I think back then when the controversy with this movie was around, it was just flat out stupid. So I'm not going to get into that. Going to welcome all of you who are watching at the moment. Since I'm doing this through Streamlabs, I see 8 viewers, but I have no idea if that's all YouTube or if that's a combination of both YouTube and Twitch. But right now, it seems like every comment's coming from YouTube, which, again, I expect because my Twitch account is still relatively new. And I think it's going to take some time for that, it's going to take some time for that Twitch account to grow. Which is why I'm dedicated to making it grow this year. But anyway, welcome everyone who's in the chat, who's watching. I have Safari shut down because Tuesday, when I was watching Captain America: The First Avenger, I realized once I finished streaming, my computer, which was charging, had dropped to 17% battery power. So I feel like the more things I shut down, the better chance I have with my computer not dying in the middle of one of these streams, which is going to be very important for the 3-hour-long Avengers Endgame. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So not much to report. For those of you on Twitch, I encourage you to go over to my YouTube channel and subscribe there if you haven't. You'll get a bunch of movie reviews and other reviews. Next week I will be reviewing the first episode of WandaVision when that comes out. All the other individual episodes will be for Patreon only until I do a full series review, which will be available for YouTube. If you're in the YouTube crowd and you are not subscribed or following me on Twitch, go ahead and do that. This Saturday I will be streaming Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 for the PlayStation 4. Meaning I'm still stuck in the 90s/early 2000s. And not much else to report. We're going to jump right in. I just have to let the people of Instagram... Oh, that's weird. I just have to quickly let the people of Instagram know that I am live. Just give me a second. Pay no attention to my lack of professionalism in this case. So once again, I have the timestamp right over there. It's going to start as soon as we get this movie going. If you don't own it physically, you can watch it on Disney Plus, and it should be a lot of fun. Okay, the Instagram post is out the window. And I think we're good to go. Yeah, we're good to go. So with that being said, I'm going to start playing the movie right... Just so you guys can see it right now. There we go. Took them long enough. You guys can hear me, right? Oh, Stan Lee. Like, I feel like Stan Lee's last 4 cameos in anything Marvel related were probably his most meaningful. In Spider-Man PS4, you had his cameo where he talks to MJ and says, "Love seeing you two together again. You always were my favorites." Then Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse, he's the clerk. He's the store clerk who sells Miles the Spider-Man suit and says, "I'm going to miss him. We were friends, you know." In this movie, he's reading the Mallrats script. And in Endgame, his very last words were, "Make love, not war." So that's very fitting. I do like the way this movie's structured in the sense that, look, we've done the traditional superhero origin stories. Like last Tuesday we did Captain America the First Avenger. Next Tuesday we're going to do the first Iron Man. This movie tells it in not in chronological order, but it tells it in a way where it's kind of a mystery on how Carol Danvers basically has to discover the truth about her powers and her life back on Earth. DeQuantate on YouTube says, "Did you watch the Nostalgia Critics Disney December videos?" I stopped watching the Nostalgia Critic a while back. Like, after a while, it's like he just became... Like, he's become a caricature at this point. His videos are just so one note. They're not constructive at all. It's just... I don't know. I don't like him anymore. I'll just say that. Keep in mind, the star of this movie is an Academy Award winning actress and a YouTuber right now. Thanks to 2020, Brie Larson is a YouTuber. Joey's Movie Blog says, "I got to the Stan Lee cameo in Spider-Man PS4 and looked at my phone and found out he passed." Oh, that's a sad way to realize that Stan Lee passed away. Yeah, I found out about it at work. Like I left my phone. I left my phone in the main office for it to charge, and then when I got back to yeah, when I got back to pick up my phone after one of my before going on my break, I saw that Stan Lee passed. I'm like, no, damn it! Like, it sucked. Daquan Tate says, "I think this is one of the better female superheroes." I mean, there aren't a whole lot to pick from, but I think this is either the second or third best. Like, it goes back and forth with Birds of Prey, and the best one is obviously Wonder Woman. So here's the thing. I argued that it's really good to watch the MCU in chronological order, but I feel like that's more the case if you've already seen the movies. If you're watching this for the first time, I think it's probably best to watch them in the order they came out. Because jumping from Captain America the First Avenger and then jumping into this like immediately as a first viewing could be a little jarring. Oh, James Bond 007 is watching this through Twitch. Definitely appreciate that because the more people that watch, the more viewers I get on Twitch, that will really help me build up to be an affiliate. What do I think of Red Letter Media? Uh, to be honest, I don't watch them. Like, I'm mostly familiar with the Mr. Plinkett Star Wars reviews, and ever since the emergence of the Phantom Menace, I just kind of, I don't know. Those videos are just now a turn off. I think the score in this movie is really underappreciated. Like, it just doesn't get enough recognition in my eyes. It was funny that Djimon Hounsou was in both Captain Marvel movies in 2017 because uh, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, because Shazam is technically DC's Captain Marvel. Yeah, there's something very ominous about this movie. Watching it again and knowing what they do with the scrolls. No, Shazam came out. Shazam came out uh, just a month after Captain Marvel in 2019. Uh, oh, I see that Silverberry 328 has followed me on Twitch. Welcome. Welcome, Silverberry. What will Disney own next? I think after last year and the effects of this year still, I think it's going to be a long time before Disney decides to purchase anything else because, yeah, everyone took a hit last year. And Disneyland isn't even open. Hasn't been open since March of last year. Okay, here's one thing Here's one criticism I have with this movie, and I don't know if it's so much the movie as much as it's my TV, but it's really dark. And I like Ben Davis is the cinematographer on this movie and has done Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy, Age of Ultron, and he's gonna do the Eternals. And uh, um, and maybe again, it could be the TV, and it also could be the light that's shining on me, so you guys can actually see my ugly mug. But there are parts of this movie that's really dark. What if they bought Toho? Please don't say that. Like I do not want that to happen at all. Oh, y'all fucked up. Okay, yeah, I'd imagine that it's my I could imagine that it's just the light shining on me. I hope your I hope your dog's doing okay, Gzilla 100. Now, if there's one disappointment I have with this movie being told in the way that it's told, it's that we don't get to see much of fighter pilot Carol Danvers. Like, we don't get to see a whole lot of her as a pilot. Especially since I don't think I've ever mentioned this on either of my channels. I don't think I've ever mentioned this on YouTube much, but there was a point in my time where I wanted to be a fighter pilot as a kid. Especially seeing those F-15s and F-16s. I'd love to see more of fighter pilot Carol Danvers. But maybe Captain Marvel too. Oh yeah, in my Snow White review, I briefly mentioned that briefly talked about the ride. You know that line. You do know why they call it a cockpit, right? That sounds a little like it sounds a little corny, but but there have been like women that have said, but there are men out there that can be that misogynistic, so it's not too like unrealistic. It, like before I decided to become a entertainment host or critic, um, I wanted to like one of my childhood like three of my childhood dream jobs were either fighter pilot, paleontologist, or what was the other one? Marine biologist. And I've been binging a lot of. I've just been randomly watching a bunch of like fighter pilot videos on YouTube, and man, it looks like it is stressful, especially if you're in the Navy, because you have such a limited space to take off and land. All right, so folks, if you have both a YouTube channel, if you have both a YouTube channel and a Twitch account, I would prefer on your Twitch account, keep it open, but mute it if you're watching it on YouTube, because the more views that I get, the more continuous views I get on Twitch, the further along it'll help me with becoming an affiliate and growing my Twitch account even further. So again, if you have two accounts, and you prefer to watch it on YouTube, just keep the Twitch page open but mute it, because as long as it's playing on Twitch, that'll be important. I did feel like this movie, I think I even said in my review when this first came out, it does start a little slow. It's not bad, but not spectacular either. And I just think it's a movie that gets better as it goes along. I've heard of the extraterrestrial alien encounter. I like that little joke. But I've never been to the Magic Kingdom at Disney World. I've been to Orlando twice, but the only Disney park I went to was Epcot, and that was in 2006. So, oh my God, that was 15 years ago. The other two times I've been to Orlando, it was only for Universal Studios, and that was in 2006 and 2008. Yeah, I do think the action, again, in the first half, could be a little better. Like, I like that moment where, like, the Skrull's trying to be intimidating, but Carol just mocks him by just going, ah! You know, the CGI in this movie is actually not very bad. I mean, okay, there's some parts with Goose, the cat, that look wonky, but most of the time I think it's good. Spider's Prime. My brother and his wife are at Disney World right now. Oh, that's. I mean, I hope they stay safe, but I don't think anybody like Florida doesn't give a damn about this pandemic. But I don't think anybody should be visiting theme parks right now. Okay, this part coming up where like the mask like pixelates out and her hair just falls down. I'm surprised no cosplayer has tried to attempt a look like that. Or at least like a or at least like a Captain Marvel mask with a zipper on the head. Or I don't know how you'd make that work in a cosplay fashion. Dead. Or it would be the case if it wasn't for that Kree blood. And bam, 1995. Like, Blockbuster. You can't get any more 90s than Blockbuster. Uh, have you seen or watched the 1985 film Legend, and will you review it? I've not. I've not. I don't know if I have any plans to review it this year. I might, because with things still not quite open in terms of movie theaters, I might review some older stuff. That is a. Guess she doesn't like True Lies. Huh? Shame. Huh? It's an underrated James Cameron movie. Apparently, there is still one Blockbuster left in the world, but it's I think it's in Oregon, but it's pretty far in the middle of nowhere. Unless it's closed down now. Oh crap, Okay, I moved my PS4 around, my PS4 controller around, and it like fast forwarded a bit, then paused. But I think I checked. I'm on. I think I'm good because I remember the timestamp right here starting a little bit ahead of the actual movies. So nothing to worry about, but I just need to be careful of slightly moving my PS4 controller. So once again, guys, if you have both a Twitch and YouTube account, and you decide to watch it on YouTube, please keep the Twitch page open and just mute it. Like as long as you have it mute, as long as you have it on Twitch open. That wasn't proper English. As long as you have the Twitch page open and it's playing, that'll help me um, work up to become an affiliate on Twitch. Oh, the Razorback, they are sensitive. Uh, do I think Rodan will return in Godzilla vs. Kong? I feel like if he was returning, they'd actually make a big deal out of it, or at least there would be word of like a copyright notice or trademark notice for Rodan. But who knows? I mean, it would be weird. It would be weird if Rodan didn't pop up because he survived to the end of the movie. Those damn payphones. I love how she just MacGyver's intergalactic communicator with a Game Boy and just some other 90s stuff. Oh, if you think C-53 is a shithole in 1995, just wait till you get to 2020. Oh, little note. Where they are right now, where they filmed this scene, when this movie came out, I was actually living 2 blocks away from that area. So I went and saw the movie. I was like, oh, that's my neighborhood. I mean, you do have to pay for for phone bills. So phone calls aren't exactly free. Laser tag, another 90s reference. Do laser tag places still exist? Because I know there was Ultra Zone back in the day, but I don't know if laser tag is laser. Somebody let me know whether it's live or later on in post in the comments. Do laser tag places still exist? Spiders Prime says yes. Foreshadowing. Yeah, here's another. Again, if you're watching the MCU in chronological order, seeing Nick Fury at the end of the first Avenger and then leading into this movie, it really is like the series goes, oh, this Samuel Jackson just popped up? Well, here's more of his character in the next movie, if you watch it in chronological order. Now, here's one, this is probably a nitpick to anyone that does not live in Los Angeles, but where they are right now is in North Hollywood. Again, because at the time this movie came out, I lived 2 blocks away from that area. That subway station is nowhere near North Hollywood. Like, I might have the geography wrong, but I think that's closer to LAX. So that just kind of, again, as somebody that lives in Los Angeles, that just bugged me. But again, to anyone that doesn't live in Los Angeles or isn't familiar with the county, this probably wouldn't bother them at all. You know what? I'll just say this right now, and I've said it. I even said this when I reviewed the movie. Getting a little tired of comic book movie action scenes on a subway train. Huh? Oh. Um. Shit. What was it? Yes. Oh. Oh yeah. The only comic book movie cliche that I hate more than the subway train action scene is the misfit that ends up becoming the villain. I still love. Oh yeah, I love like the memes, but also the reactions that people had when the trailer first came out and Carol just punches that old lady in that scroll disguise in the face. um, because it's like people that aren't familiar with Marvel lore, like Captain Marvel or the Skrulls, probably weren't aware that that old woman was a Skrull. But even then, it's just so funny to watch that GIF. So I'm trying to think. So there's Spider-Man 2. There's the Wolverine. There's Avengers: Age of Ultron. Then there's Captain Marvel. Are there only four comic book movies that have actions? Oh, there's Batman Begins. Forgot about Batman Begins. Uh, Batman Begins was one of the lesser ones because I the editing in those action scenes is just terrible. Uh oh. Oh yeah, now they're in downtown all of a sudden, and I'm pretty sure it's been a long time since I've taken subway in Los Angeles, and I don't think I have any plans to for the foreseeable future, as long as there's a pandemic. But I don't know. It's gonna be a while. I don't know how long it takes to. There's the what was her name? I'm trying to look it up on Wikipedia. Because somebody will bring it up in the chat, but the redheaded woman that walked by, she was the writer who's responsible for making Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel as big as she was in the comics. Again, I'm not like in terms of the actual comic lore. Kelly Sue DeConnick. Which Daquan Tate on YouTube says, which villain from Marvel or DC do you think Tim Curry would be awesome to play? Which villain do you think Tim Curry would be great as? I don't know. I honestly don't know. There's another 90s uh, piece of nostalgia, or more like a time capsule, internet cafes. Like for me, the equivalent of the internet cafe back then was your school computer lab, because my family was purely like a Mac family, and sometimes there'd be websites that I'd want to go to watch like videos. This was before YouTube, but the players wouldn't work on Macs. So since my school's computer lab was solely PC, that was my only way to go to certain websites I wanted to, and they were mostly Universal Studios theme park websites. And you can tell I'm probably a big nerd on Universal theme parks. Well, yeah, because Carol Danvers was Miss Marvel before she became Captain Marvel. And I still remember a time, and I still vividly remember when she was Miss Marvel, and now that role has gone to Kamala Khan. Which I gotta say, I'm excited for Miss Marvel. Out of all the Disney Plus series, WandaVision is the one I'm most excited for right now, just because it's coming out next week. But Miss Marvel's the next one afterwards, just because that Kamala Khan's such a great character. So okay, there was something in the chat that I wanted to bring up. Oh yeah, Razorbike says, "I can't believe we're at the point in filmmaking where they can make de-aging people look okay." I think it's only Marvel that's actually doing this well, because like seeing Samuel Jackson and Clark Gregg throughout this entire movie look younger than they actually are. Uh, like I don't even see the seams. With The Irishman, it looks good. The Irishman looked good, but there were some points where it looked a little cartoonish. And Lucasfilm, I don't know what they're doing wrong with their de-aging techniques. But like between Luke Skywalker and The Mandalorian, Carrie Fisher in Princess Leia in Rogue One, and both siblings in that brief moment in The Rise of Skywalker. It's weird because Lucasfilm and Marvel are owned by the same studio, Disney, and yet Marvel's the one that's actually doing all the great de-aging stuff, whereas Lucasfilm's kind of dropping the ball. And then, of course, you get to DC trying to CG out a mustache, which I think plenty has been said about that. Going back to that, the right stuff reference. Pancho's Bar is based off a real bar near the Mojave Desert that used to be near Edwards Air Force Base. That used to be a favorite hangout spot for pilots. Oh, nice. That makes a lot of sense. Oh, there was next to that picture of the F-15, there was Red Skull's ship, which I didn't even notice. Oh, there's what arcade cabinet is that? That has to be Street Fighter, because I imagine in 1995 Street Fighter was the biggest game. Street Fighter 2, there you go. Okay, so going back to that sequence where they're doing the Skrull autopsy, is Secret Invasion? Have they confirmed that the Disney Plus series Secret Invasion is going to be in the 90s or in the present day? Love that subtle smile she does at that very weird detail. She probably could have proved in a way that didn't cause collateral damage. I would think, yeah, Razorbike said, I think present. I think that would make sense because at the end of this movie, Carol helps Talos and his family try to find a new home. But is with Secret Invasion, like it's gonna have to be they're gonna have to show the evil like Skrulls, which is what prior to this movie is how I've always viewed the Skrulls. They make the bar have to pay thousands for a new jukebox. Some hero she is. Oh, cut me some slack with that. Like one juke. Okay, no, you know what? It's fun to bring this up. One jukebox versus all of Metropolis in Man of Steel. I don't think we should really criticize. Yeah, I know you were joking, but I know you were joking there, but still, it's just like. Also, let's not, if we're staying within the realm of the MCU, let's not even consider the amount of collateral damage Tony Stark has caused in his own house. Huh. That disapproving look she gives afterwards. There's a B-2 stealth bomber. The Doomslayer on YouTube, welcome. So once again, folks, I'm going to keep bringing this up every now and then. If you're just joining in and you have both a YouTube and Twitch account, I would appreciate it if you watch over on Twitch. If you prefer to watch it on YouTube, that's totally fine as well. Just go to Twitch, mute the video, and leave the window open, because the more continuous views I get on Twitch, the better it will be for my channel growth and to help me move up to be an affiliate. You know what, James Bond 007? One of my coworkers has been constantly telling me I should watch BoJack Horseman. And now that it's officially over, it makes it a little easier for me to want to watch. All right, folks, I got to really get used to, whenever I'm talking to you guys, just look directly at the webcam rather than here. Because, again, I have a different setup. And just recently, in the mail today, I got a little arm for my mic. Jeff Robinson, 2, has followed me on Twitch. That is my dad. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. That definitely helps. Now, if I'm correct, in the comics, Goose was actually named Chewie, but they had to rename the cat because of Star Wars, and Goose is a Top Gun reference. Like, I know the cat's name in the comics wasn't Chewbacca. I'm sorry, not a cat, a flurkin. Uh, I know they didn't name the cat Chewbacca. I keep calling it a cat. I know they didn't call it Chewbacca because that's a little too specific. Turner Jenkins on YouTube asks, have you ever seen the show Clone High? I have not. I don't even know what it's about. Okay, this moment coming up, it's really subtle, but I think it's the point in the movie where I completely disagree with everyone who says that Brie Larson was miscast or she's flat in this movie. Because there's a subtlety to her performance right here where, like, she's seeing these pictures and, like, you could tell that she's a little worried. She's panicked. She's flashing back to her memories. And she's just kind of in the zone right now. I it's a very subtle aspect to her performance, but I think she pulls it off. Oh, I've seen It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. It's been a while, but I've seen it. And I've not seen the producers, though, but I have seen Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein. Young Frankenstein. DeQuantate on YouTube says, will you continue to review more DC animated movies? I'd like to. See, when HBO Max got rid of the Dark Knight Returns movies, I just didn't feel the need to continue because I was actually working on reading the book before, or rereading the book because I have read the Dark Knight Returns graphic novel before. But I wanted to, like, refresh my memory on the book before I actually watched the movies. But since HBO Max put them back up, I'm gonna try to get back onto that. Especially since now it's January, I have more time to review whatever I want. Yeah, Razorbike summed it up best right here. I never got the feeling of Brie Larson being a flat actor in this. I think she's great. Now, I will say this. It's going to be a while before we get to Endgame, but I do feel like she doesn't put her all into Endgame like she does here, technically. And there's a reason why, because Brie Larson shot all of her Avengers stuff before this movie even got a script finalized. So her character hadn't been fleshed out, or at least established yet. But yeah, one of the I think Wonder Woman is still a better movie. Like it as much as I love Captain Marvel, I think Wonder Woman is an infinitely better movie. But I just feel like Carol Danvers is a more interesting character because the thing I have, I don't know if I'd say I have a problem with DC heroes, but The thing that I always loved about Marvel's characters is that they're all, majority of them are all Earth based. Uh, like they're the majority of these Marvel characters are Earth based, so in a sense they're more relatable. Even with characters like Peter Quill or Carol Danvers, who spend most of their time in space, they do come from an Earth background, so in a sense they're more relatable. With DC heroes, they're mostly a bunch of Greek gods, or they're based off the Greek gods, which nothing entirely wrong with that. I know Patty Jenkins made me actually know more about Wonder Woman and care for her. And with Aquaman, I've started to come around on that movie a little bit. Still not amazing, but started to like feel more for Arthur Curry. And then also a common trait with a common theme with DC heroes is that all of them are defined by the relationship with their parents, whereas Marvel characters are not. Uh, James Bond 007 says, personally, I think Brie Larson being so wooden in this movie, Endgame and Skull Island, has less to do with her acting capabilities and more to do with the fact that the characters she plays in these films are so underwritten and bland. Uh, Skull Island, Skull Island, I agree with, but then again, Skull Island, the entirety of the MonsterVerse is not strong on human characters. Like, they're just there to fulfill their roles. You watch the MonsterVerse just to see the monsters fight each other, and it does those bits very well, even with King of the Monsters having too many close-up action scenes with the monsters. Again, with Endgame, there are reasons why she's not as strong as Carol Danvers in that movie as she is here. And I really think I think she works well as Carol Danvers. And I think she's going to do better in the sequel. I mean, that's the thing with Marvel. I mean, at first it took them a while to really like get things underway because like with Iron Man 2, I think it's their weakest movie, but at worst Iron Man 2 is just okay. It was a step down from the first Iron Man, and Thor: The Dark World was such a step down from the first Thor, which I like quite a bit. Um, but I think and Age of Ultron, I still like, but it's definitely got its problems compared to the first Avengers. But ever since then, I feel like all their sequels have just been better. Um, Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Civil War were better than the first Avenger. Um, Infinity War and Endgame are better than Age of Ultron. Ragnarok is the best Thor movie. Ant-Man and the Wasp, I think, is better than the first Ant-Man. And even though I like Spider-Man Homecoming a little better than Far From Home, Far From Home's still great. Oh, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I can't forget that one. Oh, yeah, again, watching these movies in chronological order, with the first Avenger ending with Nick Fury, and then transitioning into this movie. Then with Coulson being a minor character in this film, which one of my bummers with Captain Marvel, I would have loved to see Coulson be more of a character in this film. I think their dynamic works so well. Carol and Nick. Oh yeah, Ronan. I had again, I love this movie. I really do like this movie, but I admit there are some problems, and I had high hopes that I really did high hopes that they'd try to make Ronan a more interesting character and give him more context to why he acts the way he does in Guardians of the Galaxy, but no. No, Ronan really is one of the lesser MCU villains. Um, do I think do I think Disney and Lucasfilm are going overboard with Star Wars? Uh, here's the thing. Okay, here's my answer. It's a yes and a no. Yes, in the sense that Star Wars is no longer like an event, because of so many movies. Like, because ever since 2015 all the way up to 2019, there's been one Star Wars movie a year. So like it's no longer special, waiting for a new Star Wars movie to come out. But I mean, as long as they're good, I'm not gonna have any complaints. It's just the thing with comic book movies. Like if one bad one comes out, or a movie that like is divisive, like say Wonder Woman 1984, I like it, but there are a lot of people that really don't, and people said, "Man, I'm tired of comic book movies." As long as they're good, people will keep going. Like I'm gonna try to use an example. Um, okay, 2016. We had three. No, wait, did we have three? Yeah, we had three good comic book movies. No, screw that. I'd say great comic book movies. Deadpool, Civil War, Doctor Strange, and then you had three terrible comic book movies: Batman vs Superman, X-Men Apocalypse, and Suicide Squad. Yeah, as long as you keep making quality products, I'd say keep them coming. It's a it's a bummer for why am I blanking out on this actress's name? Thank God for my phone, because again, I shut off Safari to try to preserve battery power for this watch party. Um, Lashana Lynch as Maria Rambeau. One of the bummers about unless they unless they do some stuff with her character like they did with Peggy Carter, it sucks that this movie takes place in the '90s, because she's a good actress. Like, she's good in this role, and it's a bummer that this character can't come back, unless you put old age makeup on her. I would not say that with Godzilla just because I couldn't say that with Godzilla because that's a franchise that is like continuously evolving and going for 67 years now. Like that's different because it's one established franchise, not an entire genre. Like again, if we were talking about the MCU specifically in terms of man, I'm sick of comic book movies. With the MCU, it'd be like, oh, you didn't like that one? Oh well, maybe you just move on to the next one. Uh, you know, I'm gonna be really. I'd like to know how Monica Rambeau works into. Okay, I know it's Louisiana, but okay, maybe I'm being ignorant because I've never been to Louisiana, but that seems like a over the top Southern accent. Uh, I love how that image of Talos drinking out of uh, that cup has just become like it's like the equivalent of the Kermit the Frog drinking tea gif. Wasn't there a comic where what Spider's Prime? Wasn't there a Fantastic Four comic where Reed Richards convinced like a whole legion of Skrulls to just turn into cows? I, okay, Razorback. I don't know if you're talking about the Talos drinking through a straw or the Kermit drinking tea gif, but any gif involving Kermit the Frog is the best. Like especially the one where he's typing wildly on the keyboard. Okay, so I was right. Fantastic Four, Volume One, Number Two. You know, it didn't make sense for the cat to pop up in the last watch party, but it completely makes sense that she's on my lap during this one with an actual Flurkin. Yeah, I'm really gonna be curious how Monica Rambeau works into WandaVision. I mean, it makes sense that she would be in Captain Marvel too because she already knows Carol, but get how. I mean, WandaVision. I'm just curious how that's even gonna work at all because it looks so bizarre that I don't even know what to make of it. Another little time capsule of the '90s. Long load times. You know, for as here's something I'm gonna say. For as horrible and misogynistic as fandoms can be, I was actually surprised that nobody had a problem with them gender swapping Marvel. Like every criticism I've heard with every criticism I've heard with Annette Bening as Marvel is that she's like my friend Sean Chandler says, she's a little over the top, and some other people have had criticisms about her in this movie, but not once have people complained about the fact that they gender swapped Marvel. So that's something I think is that's something I can respect. Again, I would love to see more. Yeah, again, I would love to see more of Carol Danvers as a pilot. Razorbike says, "Comics can be so wonky and weird and bizarre, and that's why I think I love them." All right, here's something. Here's something else. But right before seeing this movie, I was playing Lego Avengers, and there's a bonus stage once you complete the main game, where you're Captain Marvel and Captain America. Uh, and watching the trailers, I kind of had a feeling that Jude Law's character, Jan Vog, is it? Like, I had a feeling he was going to be a bad guy in this movie, even though they didn't heavily market it. Like, they marketed the Skrulls as the villains more than Jude Law. But playing that level in Lego Avengers, I just kind of, like, spoiled the fact that the character that he plays is a villain. I'm like, well, no suspense there. Yeah, blah. I don't know what I was going to say right there. Yeah, I think now in okay, comic book fans, you could tell me this. In the comics, is does Carol get her powers like uh through different means than in this? Because I was under the impression that like her powers in the books actually did come from the Kree, and here it's a completely different story. Again, I could be wrong because I'm not as well versed as in the movies as I am. I'm not well versed in the books as I am with the movies. Yonrog. That's it. That's the character's name. The Doomslayer. Hello there. Who'd win in a fight? Wonder Woman or Captain Marvel? Ooh. Uh Carol Danvers. Carol can breathe in space. I don't know if Diana Prince can, so I think in that sense, I would think I'd have to go with Carol, but it would be a damn good fight. Oh, sorry to see you go, Turner Jenkins. Yeah. You have a good night. Hope to see you. If not the two Twitch streams this weekend, then hopefully see you next Tuesday with Iron Man. Oh, her origin in terms of getting the her power set is kind of the same as in the books as it is here. Godzilla, hands down. Like the giant claw would get mangled by Godzilla. Oh, the giant claw. That's a movie I need to review soon. Oh, is that Jizo 100? See, posted this on Twitch. Is that the link for the giant claw? There's another 90s reference. Fresh Prince. think the comic she develops a split personality due to mind control or something. Huh. I mean that would make sense why I guess that would make sense why in the comics there are moments where she's like hated. Like I know there was Civil War 2 between Iron Man and Captain Marvel, and I think with what I haven't read it, but I think with what they established with Civil War 2 that Carol was in the wrong. There's her costume. Uh, I mentioned the score earlier in this stream, but like I like the theme that comes up for Carol. Like I remember when she pops up at the end of Endgame. Um, I was like, oh, I recognize the Captain Marvel theme. Now I know there's a deleted scene of when Jan Rog visits the Supreme Intelligence. Do we? I have to go back and watch that deleted scene, but I know, like, is it himself or someone? I don't know. Knows what? Ah. William Clark. Yes, I mentioned this several times. One of the best things about this movie is honestly the twist with the scrolls. Because like you, I was only familiar with the scrolls as villains. uh, I why Western critics have what do Western critics have against Godzilla movies? Um, I think it's because I don't think Western critics have anything against Godzilla movies as much as it's that because they're a Japanese series of films, like unless like unless you're a fan or you run a science fiction website, you're not going to see every Godzilla movie. So most Western critics would only have like a few Godzilla movies to uh, pull reference from, and chances are they're probably going to be the American ones. Whereas with comic book movies, they are American films, so it's easier to That's just my opinion, though. I mean, technically, Ultraman did fight a Godzilla suit. Like, they can... In the 60s, they can try to hide that as a different monster all they want with the frill, but it's pretty much Ultraman versus Godzilla. But Gamera, I don't think Godzilla's ever going to fight Gamera. Unless, like, Toho actually decides to change their mind at some point, because Toho won't allow that to happen for some reason, and we haven't had a Gamera movie in 15 years. So I think we need to I think there needs to be another Gamera movie before we can actually even talk about the idea of Godzilla versus Gamera. And there's the Tesseract. Yeah, Goose looks a little wonky right there. Again, some people, when this movie came out, some people had issues with the Tesseract coming back up. Like, does everything have to revolve around the Tesseract? I'm like, there's only 3 movies where the Tesseract's an actual, like, plot device. 4 if you count when Infinity War with Thanos crushes it to retrieve the stone. And plus, like, it would make sense that that the Tesseract would show up in this movie. Well, the 1954 Godzilla is a completely different movie than any of the MCU, so it's not really fair to compare. Yeah, this part of the movie, like you would think that Talos was just trying to, like, fool Carol so he could grab the Tesseract for himself, and again, it would be revealed that he's evil again, but this moment here when we realize that they're Skrull refugees and he has a family, that's this is where, like, the movie ends up getting a lot better for me. Again, this movie for me, it gets better as time goes on, and it progressively gets better. Also, I think it's important for Carol's arc in this movie because, yeah, right here, because she has no memory of her life on Earth, she's basically been reprogrammed, I guess, to follow these Kree ideals. And when she actually, when she actually delves into her past on Earth and realize the further truth, that makes her a little more interesting there. It definitely makes her a more sympathetic character, like, in the sense that she has a more open mindset on the Skrulls, and there's sympathy for her because she was pretty much manipulated. She was pretty much manipulated by the Skrulls ever since they picked her up, and becomes her own person. That's one of the reasons I really love this movie, is because of what they do with Carol and the Skrulls in this third act. Well, again, like, okay, like, I love the original 1954 Godzilla, but like, That movie is better. That movie is admittedly better than all the MCU movies. But the MCU has more the MCU has more great movies than the Godzilla series does. There's Nirvana. Couldn't be a 90s period piece without Nirvana. Favorite found footage movie? I haven't seen many found footage movies to say, but I guess I'd say Cloverfield, but I don't think Cloverfield's that great, honestly. I think 10 Cloverfield Lane's a better movie. Yeah, because again, you're manipulating her abilities. Like you're keeping Carol on a leash essentially. Does the MCU have more great movies than the Godzilla franchise though? I'd say yes. Like uh I can only name 5 great Godzilla movies. The original 1954 film, Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, Godzilla vs. Destroyer, Shin Godzilla, and GMK. With the MCU, there's Iron Man, there's the Avengers, Captain America, all 3 of them. Um, the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, Black Panther, Infinity War, Endgame, Thor Ragnarok. So there's definitely more. There's definitely more great MCU movies than there are great Godzilla movies. Okay, that part where like that's clearly a CGI Brie Larson, unless they had her on wires. But that was that looked like wonky CGI. Now, that shot doesn't make a whole lot of sense because like she's unconscious after the blast. Again, I've listed the 5 Godzilla movies that I think are great, and I will stand by those. Um, so I don't think versus Godzilla is great. Like the first 2/3 of that movie are fantastic, but the third act with the Mothra larva is just garbage. I think. Yeah, this is a fist raising moment here. where like Carol finally becomes the hero she's meant to be. As Spider Earth Prime says, full binary mode. It's like, fuck you, Kree. Like, you don't... Like, I'm not your property. You don't control me. Like, this... Like, I'm sorry. This really is a fuck yeah moment for me. And again, her theme, I really love her theme. It's not as great as, in terms of MCU themes, I think the Avengers theme, Captain America's, and Black Panther's are better. But this is still a memorable theme. Like, I'd always known what Flerken did in the comics. But again, to actually see it in live action, pretty much have the same reaction that everyone else had. I mean, Carol seems completely... Oh, and Goose is like, I promise I won't eat you. Didn't say anything about anything else, though. Yeah, it's but yeah, it makes sense that Carol's so nonchalant about the Flerken mouth, and it like the reactions from oh god, I just I'm sorry. In that moment, I just got distracted. And also, I completely, like, forgot, Monica Rambeau, right? Is this song too on the nose? Yeah. Do I hate it because of that? No. No, I like this moment. And probably because when it comes to music, um, no, Maria Rambeau is the character here. Monica is the daughter. Doesn't help that the names of the first two characters both begin with M. But yeah, as I was saying, when it comes to music, like it doesn't even like most of the time with music, the lyrics don't register with me on the first try, the first listen. So for me, it's just like, this is a great action scene with a great 90s song. I like that. Carol doesn't bullshit around. Yeah, they still like as far as CGI's come, they still haven't like really nailed down floating hair, whether it's space or water. I need to grab some water. So sorry for this close up, but I don't know how I'm supposed to grab my water. Oh, he's gonna have to get his head fixed. Probably some like artificial metal in the back of his head. Max Schroeder Productions has just subscribed to me on YouTube. Thank you for the subscription. I don't know if you're watching this live, but if you are, thank you. That's a great thing about Streamlabs. I mean, because just doing a regular stream on Twitch, I can easily get notified when new subscribers come up. But with YouTube, I'm aware of when someone subscribed to me as well. But I don't know if, but I missed the I missed the little icon if that popped up or not. Splat. Oh yeah, we're gonna get like when Falcon and the Winter Soldier comes out, like we're pretty much gonna get a scene like this here. Yeah, like I disagree in the sense that Captain Marvel's one of the lesser MCU movies. I mean, for me, I've said that Iron Man 2 is the weakest MCU movie, but like the worst MCU movie is like a 3 out of 5. Like it's not bad. There's not a single bad MCU movie in my opinion. It's just some are not as good as others. And for me, Captain Marvel is middle tier MCU for me. I know I did my ranking video, but I'm just going to pull up what I thought. It's amazing that those Kree warships weren't detected. But I'm just gonna accept that it's some sort of alien cloaking technology that keeps them from being detected on Earth. Okay, I'm pulling up my letterbox list of my MCU ranking. Where is it? Here it is. Um, Captain Marvel is number 14 for me. Favorite Nintendo game? This might be cheating, but Super Smash Brothers. Just because you get everything in one. That that's cool. She does a basically does a body slam into a Kree fighter. Yeah, considering the next time we see Ronan is in Guardians of the Galaxy, I don't think they're ever going to get around to that. Again, I would love to know if any Captain Marvel cosplayer out there has attempted something with the helmet coming off and the hair just falling down to each side. Fuck you and your lack of emotion. Like really that point like what as exactly as Carol put it right there, like at that point what does she have to prove anymore? Especially considering that Jan Rog pretty much lied to her about her entire past. Maybe it is a gift somewhere where Carol says, "I have nothing to prove to you." I don't know if it is, but I'm sure it is. I'm sure someone's created that gif. Oh, this moment. You know what? Like, I think it's funny that Nick Fury's eye gets scratched out by Goose, but my problem again is in execution where it literally like it's played for laughs, but and then it literally ends with them flying into the sunset. The only thing that was missing was a laugh track after Talos says, "Oh no, it's not." Oh yeah, because cats are evil, and Flurkins apparently. Uh, G Cole BYP, hello there. Sorry about that. Glad you could be here, even if it is near the end of the movie. Speaking of which, we're near the end of the movie, and my battery is at 60%. So I think, again, if I just turn off all my applications except Streamlabs and my stream timer, I think we're good for Endgame. I think we can get through Endgame without my computer dying. Razorbike says, I do feel like the MCU has a problem with putting humor when it's not needed. I think they used to have that problem when, they used to have that problem, and I think it was most prominent in Thor the Dark World and Age of Ultron. But we'll get to those two movies when we get to them, because I think they did have a problem with it, but I think like Phase 3 was when they got their shit down officially, because every Phase 3 movie, in my opinion, has been great, and the weakest for me, I think, is Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yeah, but the weakest Phase 3 movie for me is Ant-Man and the Wasp. Uh, do you think people will warm up to Captain Marvel once the sequel comes out, like they did with Thor in Ragnarok, Captain Winter Soldier, and Doctor Strange in Infinity War? To be honest, I think 2 years later, Captain Marvel is starting to get a little more appreciation over the years. Because it seems like the controversy about this movie, which really, okay, if I'm going to say this right now, it was a non-controversy. Basically a bunch of white people got upset that Brie Larson called for more diversity in film criticism, which is something that needs to happen. Like, as a white film critic, there needs to be a lot more there needs to be a lot more diversity in the field. But Captain Marvel, like the people I've talked to over the years, whenever Captain Marvel comes up in conversation, people seem to have a bigger appreciation for it. Like, people don't say it's great, but or a masterpiece, but people are like, yeah, this movie's gotten better as time goes on. Whereas for me, the Joker has just gotten worse as time goes on, but I'm not gonna open that can of worms, because I've constantly made my case on Joker, and I have gotten ridiculed for it, and I don't care. Okay, I will say this: the way she worded her statement, I think, could have been thought out a little more. But it's not like she's saying, it's not like she's saying like, it's not like she's saying I hate white men or anything. That's not what she's saying at all. It's just she's calling out for diversity within film criticism, and again, the way she worded it could have been thought out a little more, but that her message still stands. Oh yeah. I totally talked over that quote. So is it true that the scrolls burned your that the Kree wait that the Kree burned your eye out after you trying to protect the Tesseract? And Nick Fury is like, I will neither confirm nor deny that story. Exactly. G Cole BYP sums up perfectly. And my that's one of the mission statements in my critics group, the Hollywood Critics Association, to try to push for diversity in film criticism. And you know, I like that moment where we get the origin of the Avengers name within the MCU. And of course, we get another 90s classic song, which in this sense, like for movie buffs, you either think about the end credits for Captain Marvel when the song pops up, or you think of American Pie, like when that oral sex scene with Tara Reid in American Pie. Well, I mean, again, James Bond 007, it's like people are going to have like different opinions. Like certain movies would be made for a certain crowd that some critics might not be able to understand. So, again, I get what she's trying to say, and she's not trying to be exclusive. She's not excluding she's not excluding that group at all. See, this is part of the problem why how she phrased what she was trying to say came out wrong, but also there's a complete misunderstanding of what she was trying to say. But anyway, wait, forget that. Like that's all in the past. Yeah. Honestly, this movie truly gets better for me as time goes on. It was in my top 15 list of 2019, and I'll still stand by that. I still think this is a really great comic book movie, and I'm excited for more Carol Danvers. Now, here's one downside of watching the MCU in chronological order. But in my opinion, I feel like because the end credit scenes take place after the movie's done and wrapped up, this makes sense to watch. If you're watching the MCU in chronological order, you could just like stop Captain Marvel as the credits roll, or just skip to the very unnecessary end credit scene with Goose. But this mid-credit scene that leads into Endgame, it's better to just save it until you get to Endgame itself. The reason I can't skip it is because, live watch along, and there's an end credit scene we have to get to. Captain Marvel will return in Avengers Endgame. And we still have a ways to go before we get to Endgame. Still don't have as many movies to get through as the Godzilla series. I think 2 months, either 2 months or something. Yeah, I think the sequel has a chance to be better. Because again, it'll be exciting to see Kamala Khan in it right after her own series on Disney Plus, and Monica grown-up Monica Rambeau, who we're gonna see in WandaVision. Again, I'll be curious to see how she gets worked into WandaVision. If it make it would make sense that maybe they've already finished filming. They probably finished filming Miss Marvel already. Or maybe they're still filming some stuff, whether it's like reshoots or pickups or whatever they could possibly do during this pandemic still. But it does make sense that it makes sense that Miss Marvel would show up in Captain Marvel 2. But I feel like it would make sense if Carol did pop up in Miss Marvel, considering that Kamala looks up to Carol. Okay, you know what? Spiders Prime on YouTube asks, when will the Doctor Strange watch party be at? That's something I'm trying to debate, because when I reviewed the MCU in chronological order and prep for Endgame, I did Doctor Strange after Ant-Man, but before Civil War, because I felt like there's a line in Doctor Strange where Wong talks about how the Avengers protect the Earth from more like Earthbound attacks, whereas the sorcerers protect the Earth from more supernatural threats. But also Doctor Strange would probably work better. I feel like Doctor Strange would probably work as well as I feel like Doctor Strange might work as well if we did it right before Thor Ragnarok. So that's something I'm going to debate on doing. I might just stick to my main. I'm probably going to stick to the order that I did the chronological recap in, but I might change things up. Oh, if you listen to the music during these credits, there's a little hint of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man theme. With the Incredible Hulk, that's a great question, actually, since Incredible Hulk's not on Disney Plus, nor the two Spider-Man movies. I don't know. I have to look up where the Incredible Hulk is streaming. Otherwise, if you don't own the Incredible Hulk physically on DVD or Blu-ray, then you probably might have to rent it digitally, because I know you could rent movies on YouTube, so that probably would be the best option if it's not on any streaming platform. And then I don't know where the Spider-Man movies are streaming. Which comes first in the chronological order, Incredible Hulk or Iron Man 2, because they happen around the same time? I'd argue Iron Man 2, because the end of Iron Man 2 shows news footage of the Hulk's rampage at the university, which takes place in the middle of the Incredible Hulk. And Iron Man 2, the Incredible Hulk, and Thor are all part of what's known as Nick Fury's Big Week. So I would say, next week it's going to be the two Iron Man movies. Razorbike says, easily my biggest guilty pleasure Marvel movie. I have no shame in. I wouldn't. Are you talking about the Incredible Hulk? Because if you're talking about either the Incredible Hulk or Captain Marvel, I'm right there with you, because Incredible Hulk. I think the Incredible Hulk is really underappreciated as well, even though I greatly prefer Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner, and part of the reason is because he has a look that translates well to being the Hulk, whereas Ed Norton looks better as Bruce Banner than Mark Ruffalo, but as Hulk, the problem with Ed Norton's Hulk is that Ed Norton doesn't play the Hulk. The Hulk is just a pure CGI character, and the advantage of Mark Ruffalo is that he's the first actor to play both Bruce Banner and the Hulk. Oh, Ang Lee's Hulk. I mentioned this Tuesday, but if things go according to plan and Black Widow does come out in theaters or when it's supposed to come out, I am planning to review Howard the Duck, the '90s Captain America, and the Incredible Hulk. No, I'm sorry, Ang Lee's Hulk, because I've already talked about the Incredible Hulk a lot. To show you how much I love the MCU, I don't think any of their movies are overrated. Like, again, you could call me a fanboy all you want, but I think... Oh, yeah, this... So, I saw this at the press screening, and this really is one of those end credit scenes that feels like a waste of time. As Steve Rogers would put it, you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing. And when I went and saw this, because I saw this at the press screening, then when I went to see the movie on opening night in IMAX, it's like, you know what? You could criticize me all you like. This is me talking to the audience in my mind. Y'all can criticize me all you want for walking out before the end credit scene pops up. I've already seen this movie. I know what the end credit scene is. I'm not missing shit. Razorbike, you're a shill, even though you're not getting paid by Disney and all opinions are your own. That's funny. God, I hate those people that say like Disney shills or whatever. Whatever. Those people are a bunch of losers. So yeah, that was Captain Marvel. Sorry if I sounded too loud. I was leaning into the mic to try to move something away. But anyway, thank you guys for joining me on this watch party for Captain Marvel. As I mentioned, next Tuesday is going to be Iron Man, and then next Thursday, a week from today, will be Iron Man 2. If you're watching this on YouTube, I encourage you to go over to Twitch and either follow, or if you want to help... Oh my god, sorry. Oh yeah, there are people... oh yeah, James Bond. There are honestly people that think that Disney pays critics to give good reviews. This all happened. I can actually, I log off, I can actually pinpoint when this happened. I'm gonna stop the timer there because movie's done. I can actually pinpoint when this happened. It happened in 2016 when Batman vs Superman was getting trashed by critics, and in my opinion, rightfully so, because it's awful. And then Captain America: Civil War comes out, which is essentially a similar movie, and it's universally praised. And there was a petition going online that DC fans started, to where it's like, stop making Rotten Tomatoes, stop getting Disney to pay for good Rotten Tomatoes reviews. I'm like, at the time, y'all know Warner Brothers owns Rotten Tomatoes. It doesn't make any sense. And then that same year, I got a comment on my X-Men Apocalypse review. And at the time, I gave it a good review, but somebody thought, oh, that's not good enough. You're a Disney shill because you don't like this as much as an MCU movie. Or as Captain America: Civil War. I'm like, dude, if I was a Disney shill, I would have given Alice Through the Looking Glass a great review, but I didn't. Like, Alice Through the Looking Glass is garbage. So, yeah, people are just crazy. Like the internet is just a madhouse, all things considered, which is why it's good to sometimes stay off as much as possible. But anyway, that's my watch party for Captain Marvel. Thank you guys for joining. If you are on YouTube, I encourage you to head over to Twitch and either follow or subscribe, and keep your eyes open for more streams in the future. This Saturday and Sunday, I'll be doing 2 streams. On Saturday, it'll be Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. So just as Captain Marvel was set in 1995, I'm staying in the late 90s or early 2000s with Tony Hawk. And then Sunday, I'll be doing random gameplay of Batman Arkham Asylum because as I'm waiting for the proper equipment to come in, I just thought, hey, Batman, why not? If you're all on Twitch, thank you guys for Thank you guys for following me. I'm really hoping to get this... Oh, sorry, got hiccups. I'm really hoping to get this Twitch channel moving forward. Also, I do encourage you to go over to YouTube and subscribe to my channel where I do tons of movie reviews. I just put up a review for Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs yesterday. And every Wednesday throughout 2021, I'm going to be doing reviews for the entire Walt Disney Animation catalog from Snow White all the way up to Wreck-It Ralph. So it's gonna be a challenge. James Bond 007 says, Disney live-action remakes are trash. Yes, they are. But, I mean, I like The Jungle Book and Aladdin, but majority of them are pretty bad. Well, yeah, that's about it. If you guys really love what I'm doing with either channel, YouTube or Twitch, and you want to help support financially, you could go over to patreon.com right there. You can support the channel on... You can support me on any form, level you desire. At the $4 level, which I just started a couple of weeks ago, I will be doing individual episode reviews for TV shows that I'm watching. I'm going to be doing that for every episode of WandaVision and the other MCU TV shows to follow. Whereas the regular YouTube crowd will only get an episode... we'll only get a review of the first episode and the series. If you can't support financially, then that's totally fine. Your subscriptions and follows on both YouTube and Twitch are good enough. Comments moved again. G. Cole BYP says, oh, I only liked Jungle Book and Cinderella. The rest are either meh or terrible. I never saw Cinderella, but... Given that I'm watching the original and reviewing it within the next couple months, I probably should watch that remake, since everyone says that's one of the good ones. Well, yeah, that does it. I'm going to get off here because my throat is running dry from talking constantly. And, yeah, until then, this is the real Mr. Robinson telling you there's only one.